Hello everyone. This is a video about my 1950s Robbins Myers 2-speed reversible window fan. This was made in the early to mid 50s, but try as I did, I could not find the exact years it was made. But it was made in Memphis, Tennessee, certified by Texas A&M, and it's a model B2500 2-speed reversible, and it's 24 inches across, 27 inches tall, and when expanded out with the sides, it's 34 inches. Let's see, model B2500, 115 to 125 amps, 60 cycles, and 2.1 amps. Anyway, it has very little to no rust on it, which is kind of ironic for these because that's usually the first place in the backside that they get. Another person who has one of these said that the blade designs on these are made specifically to be exhaust fans more so than intake fans, and I believe that because that's what I use it mostly for. And it does in fact draw the cool air through the rest of the house when you put it on exhaust. It's due to the pitch in the blades, he says, because he has one almost identical. Hunter, Robbins, and Myers are the same company, so Hunter Zephyr is another fan made by the Hunter division of that company that's identical to this one. I believe it's also a Model B2500. But anyway, it's kind of rigged there. On the left-hand side, you can see that I have a piece of black cardboard in there. That's so I could put in an extender piece for the side, because what was going on there is that window was a little bit too wide, and I wanted to make sure that the fan set in there safely. I got this at a yard sale, believe it or not. I only paid $20 for it, and I just couldn't believe it. I had to snatch it up right away. But anyway, let me go ahead and turn it on and demonstrate it. I would take a picture of the back side of it, but it is kind of shaded a little bit by that screen in the window, and that screen is impossible to get out from that angle. But it is just completely open in the back. These were designed specifically to be window fans. You can't set them on the floor and turn them into a box fan or a floor fan. Another reason for that is if you look at it, you'll take notice to the fact that it kind of tapers inward towards where the motor is in the center, and that makes it heavy to the front. So if you tried to set that on the floor, it would literally just fall forward right on its face, you might say. But anyway, it's 2 speeds and 2 directions. I'm not sure exactly what it is on RPMs. No. And I'll go ahead and start it out. It has 2 switches over here. There's a middle, an up, and a down for off, low, and high. And in the back, of course, is in or out. So the blade goes in either direction. I'll start it on in. We'll put it there first. That's in low. And this thing makes a tornado of air. Where I grew up, we lived in an old Victorian farmhouse, and we had one in the upstairs hallway window identical to this one. And unfortunately, it got zapped by a power surge during a thunder and lightning storm and burnt the motor out in it. But I always said I wanted to have another one, and when I found this one, I scarfed it up right away, especially for $20, considering what they're going for on eBay. Okay, that's low in, and here's high in. It's noisy, but it's not as noisy as you would think something this size would be. And there's my kitty. Her name is Me. She likes to smell the fresh air coming in. Okay, we'll turn that off. And then we'll flip the back switch. It just flips up and down. They're both toggle switches. Up and down for in and out, of course. It has an incredible spin down time. But that's because the blades are so heavy and I keep it quite well oiled and cleaned. The bearings and everything in this fan are just incredible. And believe it or not, the previous owner said he used it in a barn. So the only thing I had to do when I brought it home was clean it up, oil it. The wiring, everything is original. I just can't believe the shape it's in. I've seen these go for way more money on eBay when they're not anywhere near in as good a shape. Okay, I think we're safe to do it now. Here is low on exhaust. And when I put it on like this, which I normally do, it'll draw air through the windows and the whole rest of the house. It'll bring in the cool air and draw out the heat, of course. Unless it's, you know, like 95 or 100 degrees, and then we're not going to try anything like that. We use the air conditioning. Okay, that's low out. There is high out. That's what I usually have it on for the most part. It has its share of dings and scratches, you know, just like any one of these is going to have for its age. Right here, it looks like it's fell forward a time or two. But as far as being rusty and beat up and banged up like an awful lot of these are, this one was in exceptionally good condition. All right, I'll go ahead and turn it off. Here, what's the spin down? The spin down is a really, really good spin down time. It seems to me that the one we had over on the farm didn't spin down anywhere near this good. It was probably, if I remember right, I think the bearings were starting to go bad in it. And we're still spinning. But it gets a little bit warm, but it doesn't get really bad. It runs incredibly well. Like I said, it still has the original plug and the original switches, wiring, and everything. So at one time it was quite well taken care of, and that's even before I had it, and I keep really good care of it. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. That's my 1950s B2500 18-inch window fan from the early 50s.